What's up, guys? This is Alex from Beyond the Veil Horror Podcast, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Rings. First off, let me preface this by telling you that I actually decided that we were just going to go see the movie fresh because I had heard that it pretty much was just taking some of the original story and kind of sprinkling it in, which, in my opinion, from what I remember, is true. I got some good news for you. I got some bad news for you. Mostly bad. Sorry. There are some of the cast that's actually I was kind of happy to see in the movie. The two main stars, Matilda Anna Ingrid Lutz, plays Julia. Alex Rowe, who plays Holt. Now, you also have cameos with Vincent D'Onofrio, as you may have seen in the trailer, and you will also see from The Big Bang Theory, Johnny Galecki. It was nice to have him in there. Johnny Galecki did an okay job, but to be honest, most of the acting in this movie was just not what I expected. Now, as far as the story goes, you're back into the Rings world. The tape now suddenly resurfaced, and everybody starts getting infected with that age-old ghost, Samara. So the ring face is back. That's my best impression. I don't know. It is a PG-13 movie, so they didn't really have any kind of gore or anything. They did show the ring tape like it did in the original, but they added some new elements to the whole thing. I'm not spoiling anything, obviously, because this is a spoiler-free cast, but I will say that when the movie started, it kind of felt like a big-budget sequel, like a big-budget sequel should feel. And they tried to add in some new elements that, I think were okay. Like, I actually didn't mind some of the elements they added in there. Some of the tricks that they did with Samara and the ring, they made it seem much more panicky, like it was just happening everywhere and people were getting infected. It seemed like she was way more powerful in this movie than she had been in previous ones. Now, that could be good or bad for some people, but it does, in my opinion, feel like a true sequel in that sense. Because how do you elaborate on the story? How do you make her more powerful and more frightening? They did do some new things with the movie. They kind of failed horribly by the middle of the movie. Although I didn't really know too much because I was interrupted by someone having full-on conversations for about 45 minutes of the show. Public service announcement time. If you're talking in a movie, you're the asshole. If you're on your phone, you're the asshole. Please stop doing this. Anyway, aside from that, the first half of the movie wasn't horrible. It was like riding a 6 or a 7. Kind of cool. I like some of the ideas that they had, but to be honest, if you've seen the trailer for Rings, you've pretty much seen all the coolest scenes. Other than that, the movie started nosediving quite quickly when they meet up with Vincent D'Onofrio's character. It's like the story decided to try to go for atmosphere, but didn't really have a grasp on atmosphere. It's like it got lost in its own self-worth. Like it thought it was better than it was. Honestly, by the time that we finished watching this movie, we were already in full laughter mode. Especially for those, the O faces. We were cracking up. I was like, "Ah!" Probably pissed some people off when I made that noise in the theater because it was dead silent. What can I say that is a positive experience about this movie? Not much. You pretty much see all the cool shit in the trailer. Johnny Galecki's character does kind of a cool hipster professor sort of character in the movie. That sort of ends kind of quickly when you get to know him a little bit better. Some of the storyline that they progress to try to make the characters feel. I didn't feel for the main girl, Matilda Anna Ingrid Lutz. I wanted a strong heroine. She just didn't fit the part, but I just didn't believe her. So it was kind of like stuffing down morals down your throat. Look at me, everyone. Oh, I'm going to be the one that's going to save everyone. Who would I say would like to watch this? If you're an ultimate fan of the remakes, the Americanized versions of The Rings, it's probably not a horrible movie to go see in the theater if you're that big of a fan. For me, personally, I really think that this movie makes it about a 5 out of 10. unless you're like an ultra fan, I think even those fans are going to think it's like a 7. I know that some of you guys are going to get pissed off about that because you're expecting the most. I just don't feel like you need to see it in the theater. Honestly, I almost feel like Bye Bye Man beats this one by a point, but because it just felt a little more fresh. If you want to watch a really good Ring movie, I suggest that you go to Shudder and watch Sadako versus Kayako, which is essentially The Ring versus The Grudge. And this is based off the originals, not the Americanized. If you're a fan of those, I would highly recommend you seeing that, which was a fun, unexpected ride, than to see Rings in the theater. I guess we kind of all expected it to be a little bit better. I guess somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew, what was I thinking? Halfway through the movie, I was like, man, I'm bored. If you guys agree with me, if you think I'm full of shit, maybe why do you like it? Why don't you like it? Let me know what you think after you see it in the theaters. Are you a fan? Are you not a fan of the original series? Are you a fan of the new one, the Americanized version? Either way, please hit the subscribe button on the YouTube. Make sure you share and like anywhere that we're posting this. We'll see you next time on Beyond the Veil Horror Podcast Reviews. Thanks again. Have a good one.